I think it was my faith in God that pulled me through it. You know, there's this thing called agency, free will. And if I had...
She was America's sweetheart, the smiling voice of a wholesome family dynasty, the face of countless television specials, and a woman who seemed to have it all. But behind the glittering costumes and flawless stage presence, Marie Osmond's life has been marked by devastating loss, betrayal, and battles she's fought largely in private. Now, at 65, her journey is a sobering reminder that fame can hide the deepest of heartbreaks. This is the untold tragedy of Marie Osmond. For more than 5 decades, Marie Osmond has been a fixture in American entertainment. From the Donny Marie show to her solo music career, from Broadway to Las Vegas residencies, she has charmed audiences with her voice, warmth, and humor. Yet behind the scenes, her life has been anything but simple. Personal loss, public scandals, and health struggles have tested her resilience again and again. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the woman the world thinks it knows, to reveal the heartbreak, the resilience, and the truth about Marie Osmond's life at 65. Marie Osmond was born on October 13, 1959, in Ogden, Utah, the 8th of 9 children in the famous Osmond family. While her brothers were already making waves in the music industry, as the Osmonds, Marie's path to stardom came quickly and decisively. At just 13 years old, she released her debut single, Paper Roses, which shot to #1 on the country charts and made her a household name. Almost overnight, Marie was thrust into a whirlwind of television appearances, concerts, and media attention. Her wholesome image and natural charisma made her the perfect fit for the entertainment industry of the 1970s. By the time she was 16, she was co-hosting the Donny Marie show alongside her brother, charming millions every week with musical performances, comedy sketches, and wholesome banter. But behind the polished smile and sparkling costumes, Marie was learning that fame came with heavy expectations. The pressure to maintain perfection in looks, behavior, and career would follow her for decades, shaping both her personal and professional life in ways she could never have imagined. While the public saw a confident young star, Marie was quietly grappling with the intense pressures of life in the spotlight. The Osmond brand was built on a clean-cut, family-friendly image, and Marie felt an enormous responsibility to uphold that image at all times. Every outfit, every interview, every performance was scrutinized, not just by fans, but by an entire industry eager to find cracks in the facade. In her late teens, Marie began to experience anxiety and self-doubt. The entertainment schedule was relentless, with little time for rest or privacy. The need to always appear perfect led to struggles with self-esteem that she kept hidden from the public. Adding to the strain was the changing music landscape. While Paper Roses had cemented her as a country music star, shifting trends in the late 70s and early 80s made it harder to maintain the same level of chart success. She tried to reinvent her sound, but record sales fluctuated, and critics began questioning her staying power. On top of career challenges, Marie faced personal struggles. She endured a broken engagement in the early 80s, which, for someone in her position, wasn't just a private disappointment. It was a public spectacle. Fans and tabloids alike speculated about her love life, adding emotional strain to an already demanding career. Through it all, Marie kept smiling on stage, delivering flawless performances and maintaining her trademark warmth. But behind the scenes, cracks were beginning to form. Cracks that would widen as new challenges emerged in her personal life. In 1982, at just 22 years old, Marie married basketball player Stephen Craig. The union seemed picture perfect, the kind of fairy tale romance fans love to believe in. Just a year later, they welcomed their first child, Stephen Jr. And for a moment, Marie appeared to have achieved a balance between her career and personal happiness. But beneath the surface, the marriage was strained. The demands of Marie's career, combined with the challenges of raising a young family under constant public scrutiny, proved overwhelming. In 1985, after only 3 years of marriage, the couple divorced, a move that shocked fans who had long seen Marie as a symbol of stability. The years that followed were turbulent. In 1986, she married music producer Brian Blowsill, and together they had 7 children, both biological and adopted. While the marriage lasted over 2 decades, it was far from smooth. Marie later admitted that the relationship was deeply unhappy for much of its duration. She endured emotional struggles, health challenges, and the demands of raising a large family, all while trying to maintain her career and public image. Her 2007 divorce from Blowsill marked another painful chapter in her life, one compounded by personal tragedy. Just 3 years later, her 18-year-old son Michael died by suicide after a long battle with depression. The loss was shattering. Marie, who had always been known for her upbeat personality, spoke openly about her grief and the guilt she carried, using her platform to advocate for mental health awareness. In an unexpected twist, Marie rekindled her relationship with her first husband, Stephen Craig, and the two remarried in 2011. She described their reunion as a second chance at happiness, though she carried with her the scars of the hardships she had endured. Her love life, marked by 2 marriages to the same man, a long and troubled second marriage, and unimaginable loss, reflected the complexity of her personal journey. Through it all, Marie remained committed to her family and her faith, even when her own heart was breaking. By the late 2000s, Marie Osmond could have quietly stepped away from the spotlight. She had endured divorce, the shifting tides of the entertainment industry, and the crushing loss of her son. But walking away was never in her nature. Instead, she embarked on one of the most ambitious reinventions of her career. In 2008, she teamed up with her brother Donny for a Las Vegas residency at the Flamingo Hotel. The show, simply titled Donny and Marie, became an instant hit. Blending music, comedy, and nostalgia, it appealed to longtime fans and new audiences alike. The residency was originally planned for 6 weeks, but it lasted an astonishing 11 years, with over 1,700 performances. On stage, Marie projected the same warmth and effervescence she had been known for since her teenage years. But off stage, she carried the weight of her personal grief and the physical demands of performing night after night. At times, she pushed through pain, both emotional and physical, to give audiences the joy they came to see. Beyond the stage, Marie also ventured into television as a host on The Talk, co-wrote several best-selling books, and launched successful ventures in doll design and other creative businesses. Each new project was a testament to her resilience, proof that she could still command attention in an industry notorious for sidelining women after a certain age. Yet that resilience came at a cost. Maintaining such a high level of visibility required constant effort, discipline, and emotional stamina. Marie admitted that there were days when she felt exhausted, both from the workload and from the pressure of always having to present a cheerful, composed image. The public saw a consummate entertainer who could do it all, but few understood how much strength it took to keep that image intact while navigating the lingering heartbreaks in her personal life. For decades, Marie Osmond had been known for her boundless energy and tireless work ethic, but even she could not completely escape the toll of time and stress on the body. Years of performing under hot stage lights, countless costume changes, and rigorous choreography began to take a physical toll. She has spoken about struggling with chronic pain, a reality that rarely made it into the glossy magazine covers or cheerful television appearances. Add to that the emotional weight she carried, the loss of her son, the challenges of raising a large family, and the heartbreak of failed relationships. And it became clear that Marie's life, while enviable from the outside, demanded a constant battle behind the scenes. Marie also faced public scrutiny about her appearance, something she has addressed with both humor and honesty. Living under the glare of fame meant that any change in her weight, hairstyle, or facial expression could spark speculation. For a woman in her 60s, still working in a youth-obsessed industry, it was yet another challenge to navigate. Privately, she has admitted to experiencing bouts of depression and anxiety, particularly after her son's passing. Faith became her anchor during these dark periods, along with her commitment to her remaining children and grandchildren. Still, grief is not something that disappears, and those closest to her say that it continues to shape the way she approaches life. Marie has also been candid about the balancing act of maintaining her career while protecting her personal boundaries. She has learned when to say yes to opportunities and when to step back to protect her mental and physical health, a skill she admits took decades to master. Despite these battles, Marie has never allowed herself to be defined solely by her struggles. If anything, they have made her more determined to keep moving forward, to keep performing, and to keep finding purpose in the things she loves. At 65, Marie Osmond stands as far more than just a singer, actress, or entertainer. Her life has become a testament to endurance, a public chronicle of a woman who has faced joy and heartbreak in equal measure, and somehow managed to keep standing. Her career longevity is remarkable. In an era when most child stars fade quickly, Marie transitioned from teenage sensation to established adult performer, then reinvented herself again and again to stay relevant. She has conquered music, television, theater, and business ventures, each time proving she could adapt without losing her signature warmth and authenticity. But her legacy isn't just about the roles she's played or the songs she's sung. It's about her openness in sharing her vulnerabilities. Marie has never pretended that her life was without pain. She's spoken openly about loss, about feeling inadequate, about the crushing grief of losing a child, and about the pressure to remain perfect in the public eye. By doing so, she's connected with fans on a deeper level, not just as an entertainer, but as a fellow human being navigating life's unpredictable storms. Her ability to turn tragedy into purpose is one of her most enduring qualities. She's used her platform to advocate for mental health awareness, to encourage open conversations about grief, and to remind others that resilience is built in the moments when we feel like we can't go on, yet somehow do. Colleagues often describe her as a consummate professional, someone who arrives prepared, treats everyone with respect, and never lets her personal pain diminish the joy she brings to her audience. Even in her most difficult seasons, Marie has managed to step onto the stage, flash that famous smile, and give people a reason to feel good, if only for a couple of hours. Her story is not one of perfection, but of persistence, and that persistence may be her greatest legacy of all. Marie Osmond's life is living proof that even the brightest lights can cast deep shadows. She has been a star since she was barely a teenager, a voice and face beloved by millions, and yet her journey has been marked by trials that would break most people. From the dizzying heights of chart-topping hits and sold-out shows to the crushing lows of divorce, scandal, and the unimaginable grief of losing a child, Marie has endured it all under the unforgiving glare of the public eye. And still, she stands. Her story reminds us that resilience doesn't mean you never fall. It means you get back up, again and again, even when your heart is heavy and the path forward feels impossible. It means redefining yourself, finding purpose in the pain, and choosing to keep moving when standing still might be easier. At 65, Marie's voice still carries the same warmth it did when Paper Roses first played on the radio. But it's deeper now, richer with the kind of life experience that can't be faked. She is no longer just America's sweetheart. She is America's survivor. For those who have followed her for decades, her journey is a reminder that beauty and tragedy often walk hand in hand, and that the truest strength lies in facing both with grace. So perhaps the real legacy of Marie Osmond isn't the songs, the shows, or even the decades-long career. It's the example she sets that you can live through heartbreak, carry your scars proudly, and still find joy in sharing your gifts with the world. Which chapter of Marie Osmond's life has inspired you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more untold stories from the lives of entertainment icons, make sure to subscribe for the next deep dive.